What if your EC2 server runs out of storage space? Don't worry, in this video I will show you how to add extra storage using AWS EBS, explain volume types, pricing, and most importantly do a complete hands-on demo from scratch. And if you are learning AWS and DevOps, this is one concept you must understand. We will see what is EBS, the different volume types, pricing and free tier eligibility, and full hands-on demo of attaching and detaching a volume to EC2. So EBS stands for Elastic Block Store, and it is a persistent storage for EC2. It works similarly like an hard disk or SSD in our computer, and it stores OS, files, applications, logs, and database data too. A real life example is if you buy a laptop, you will have a inbuilt RAM, CPU, and the storage, right? Similarly, consider in AWS, EC2 is your laptop, but the RAM is the instance memory, which will be relevant to your instance size or instance type, and it has same as a CPU. And in EC2 we will have a concept called EBS, which acts as a storage for the EC2 servers. AWS provides multiple EBS volume types. So for beginners, the most important one is GP3 because it is cost effective and recommended for most workloads. So we do have a types of GP2, which is an older general purpose, which is not used now since GP3 is 20% less in the billing, and IO1 and IO2 is used for the high performance DBs. So this is way costly, and ST1 is used for big data and logs, and SC1 is used for backup and cold storage. And there is a volume type called magnetic, which is a stand-up EBS type. This is similar to an old HTTP model, which is not recommended in our. For practice, demos, and applications, I strongly recommend GP3. It gives better performance at lower cost. Coming to the pricing depends on the volume type and size. For example, GP3 costs approximately 8 cents per GB in many regions. So prices may vary according to your AWS region too. And the GP2 cost 0.10 cents, and IO1 and IO2 cost you 125 cents plus IOPS. And for ST1 it is 0.045 cents, and for SE1 it is 15 cents. So if you are using an AWS free tier, you get up to 30 GB of EBS storage free for the first 12 months. This free tier includes the GP2 and GP3. So these are the important terminal commands which we will use in the demo on attaching and detaching the volumes to the EC2. Come, let's quickly dive into the demo for attaching and detaching the volumes to our EC2. So I will switch my region here. Hyderabad will quickly launch the instance. The AMI can be Amazon Linux, and T3.micro, which is a free tier, and I will choose my existing key pair, existing security group. If you see here, this configure storage is a default EBS storage which will be attached while creating EC2. So if we terminate our EC2, then this will be also get deleted. So we can quickly launch the instance. So let's wait for the status check. In the meantime, we can go and create a new volume. So on your EC2, you can find a volumes tab under Elastic Block Store. So just click volumes here, and you can find one volume which is attached to our current instance. So this is a default volume which is created as part of EC2. So if we want an additional volume, we can just click create volume here, and choose your volume type. As I said, you can find the GP3, GP2, IO1, IO2, SE1, ST1, and standard. So I will choose GP3 here, and size of about 2 GB, and IOPS is 3000 minimum, and the throughput is 125 MB for the minute. So that is the minimum. And here you should note that the availability zone must be same as the EC2. If it is different, then we can't attach our EC2 here. So it can be AP South 2A, and I will just create volume. So I will name it as additional volume. So let's quickly jump into our instance, check the status here. Let's quickly connect to our server using the EC2 instance connect. A new window will be opened here. So to check our volumes, just type lsblk. You can see that our volume has been attached here. So this is a volume name attached to our EC2. So I will quickly show you that if we go into actions and the storage, here you can see an option called attach volume. So if you choose attach volume, you can choose a volume only on the availability zone that we have created. So the volumes will be listed only on the AP South 2A. If it is created in 2B, then the additional volume that we have created will not be listed here. So always make sure that you create in the correct availability zone, else you will be seeing a missing volume there. So just click it here, and we should give a device name. This is like a C folder or D folder which you will see in Windows machine. So for the Linux machine and in AWS, we should attach a device name here. So I will choose a random one which is dev sdf. So if you see, go to volumes again and just do a refresh here, you can see that it is attached to our instance. So let's quickly verify here, that is lsblk. So now you can find that an additional volume is being attached with 2 GB. So that is our additional volume that we have created. So you can ask me that why the volume type volume name that we have attached is not listed here. So in the Amazon Linux machine, it will show a different NVM name, which is a data volume name. It will not list like hyphen /dev /sdf. It will list it like NVM E1N1. So so is 0 and 1. If you attach another one, it will show 2 and 1. Next, we need to mount it. For mounting the volume, there is a command before mounting the volume, that is we need to format the disk. This format disk command will make structured directory where we can mount our volume. -text4/dev/nvme1n1. So this will format it. So before mounting it, we need to create a proper file system. So it will generate a UUID. So now we can quickly make a directory in this volume, sudo mkdir/data. So this data directory will be created in the root volume. So now we can mount it with the command sudo mount/dev nvme1n1 and /data. So we are mounting the data to this additional volume. So now if you click df-h, additional volume is attached, mounted on flash data. Inside data, I will store it in a file called test.txt. If you do cat, it shows hello from EBS. So this is basically from our additional volume. We can quickly do a detach of this volume and attach to a new EC2. For it, we can go ahead and create a new instance. So if you see that new instance has been created, and on the volume you can now see 3 volumes. So 2 is created via EC2 and 1 is our additional volume. So if you see the resources, this EBS demo server is the one which we have attached now. So now we are going to detach from this EBS demo server and will attach to EBS demo server detach instance. So before detaching the instance volume from the instance, we need to unmount the volume. So for unmounting, we need to type sudo umount/data. So if you do df-h, now you can see that this NVMe1 is been unmounted from this instance, and we need to detach a volume from the EBS demo server now. Actions, storage, and detach volume. we can't attach a volume to two instances at a time. So if you see, I can show you a quick demo that if you need to attach a volume here, you can see that it is not available right here since it is attached to an existing instance. Now we can quickly detach it from here. For detaching, we need to click on detach volume. So you need to click on the correct volume which we need to detach it. So always make sure that you are choosing the correct one and choose detach volume. So once you successfully detached it, make sure that you are attaching to this one, that is storage attach volume. So here you can see that now the additional volume is being listed once after detaching on the existing instance. So here also I'm going to choose the XDF. There are a lot of device names available here, so I have chosen SEF attach volume here. So I will quickly connect to this instance. So here you can see ls blk, you can see that 8 GB and 2 GB of the additional data, and here you can see that still our data is not available, right? So we need to first mount it here, a directory called sudo mkdir slash data. So we need to mount it here, sudo mount. So if you do df -h, you can see that our additional volume has been mounted here. So as I said that if you do cat data test.txt, you can see hello from EBS. Here you can see one thing that we have just created a directory of data and just mounted the existing volume. So in the previous instance we have created a file called test.txt, right, if you remember. So that one will be listed here. So this is how we will attach and detach of the volumes for the EC2 servers. So that's a complete beginner friendly understanding of AWS EBS volume. In this video, we learn what EBS is, the different volume types, pricing, free tier eligibility, and most importantly, how to attach and detach an EBS volume to an EC2 instance with a live demo. We also clearly understood the device name concepts and the Linux commands used to format and mount the disk. And always make sure that you terminate or delete the resources that you use in the AWS, since AWS will make us pay for every resources that we are running once the free tier eligibility is completed. Terminate the instances, and also for the volumes, please make sure that delete the additional volume that you have created. So it is terminated. So make it as a practice. So if this video helped you understand EBS clearly, please do support the channel by liking the video and subscribing to Tech Arivu. In the next video, we will continue this AWS EC2 storage journey by learning EBS snapshots and volume resizing, which is another very important in the real world concept. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.